Hello guys, welcome to the next video on HTML tutorial for beginners using HTML5. In this video we will see how we can add an image to our HTML page using img, and what are the various ways we can use img element in HTML. So let's get started. To add an image to your web page, you need an element called img, and this mainly has two attributes. One is alt and other is source. So alt is just like a description for your image. For example, my sweet image, and source is the location where your image is located. So for the location, let's create a folder inside our web content folder. So I'm going to create a folder and I'm going to name it as img, and inside this img folder what I'm going to do is I have this image for HTML logo. I'm going to drag and drop into this image folder, right? And just say copy file and click OK, and it's going to place my image inside this image folder. Now to give the source path, here I will just write img slash my image name, so html.png, right? So the name of my png file, right? So I will save my code and refresh the web page, and I can see this HTML logo here on my web page, right? Now there is one more attribute which we can use here, is the size attribute, right? So you can give the width and height to your image, something like this. So there are two ways of giving width and height to your image. One is you just need to give width attribute and give the number of pixel you want, for example 600 pixel as a width, and same for height, for example 600 pixel for height. Okay, save it and refresh the page and it will look like this. Okay, the second way of giving the width and height is using style attribute. So just add a style attribute and then just add width here, and as a width you just need to add 600 px and then semicolon and then the height, and once again give 600 px. Okay, and it will result in the same way, right? So when you refresh the page it will be same, because it was earlier 600 pixel. For example, I do it something like 400 by 400 and save the page, refresh it, and it's going to become 400 by 400 pixel image. Okay, now you not only can use the local images, you can also use the images which are on some server. For example, you have some image on some website and you have the URL of the image, you can directly add as a source of your image in here. So for example, I will just give the source of the image which I have on my website, and I will save it and I will refresh it, and it's going to show this image which is on the website. Now let's see how we can add an image with a link. Okay, so to add an image with a link, what you can need to do is you need to add a normal link tag, and inside this link tag you just need to place your image, something like this. Okay, so your image tag, and as a reference, so href, you can give the location of the file which you want to redirect to. So for example, I want to redirect to this file 2.html inside my directory folder. I can just locate something like this, dir, and then the file name file 2.html, and save it and refresh your web page, and once you click this image you will go to the page which you are linked to. So the HTML page which you are targeting, it will go there. Okay, now let's see how we can add a background image to our HTML page. So I'm going to remove all this, and to add a background image there are two ways. One is just give in your body, give an attribute called background and give the location of the image which you want to set as background. For example, I want to set this image itself as a background, so I just write img/html.png and save it and refresh your web page, and it's going to set this image as a background. And if this image is of smaller size than your web page size, then it's going to repeat. Okay, so it's going to repeat something like this to cover your web page. Okay, the second way of adding this background image is using a style element. So just add a style element, and inside your style element you just need to write body, and inside these curly braces you can add a attribute called background image, and as a value you just need to give URL, and then inside the bracket you just need to give the location of your image. So just copy the image from here and paste it here, and I'm going to remove this attribute from here and save it and refresh your web page, and it will be the same. Okay, now suppose if you don't want to repeat this image, you just want to show it once, what you can do, you can just add an attribute called background repeat, and as a value you can give no repeat. Okay, and save your web page and refresh it, and it's going to look like this, so it's not going to repeat. Okay, now suppose you want to use your image with a paragraph. So for example, I'm going to add a paragraph tag here, and I'm going to add some random paragraph here, and I will save it and refresh it, and my paragraph looks like this. So my image and below this my paragraph. But for example, I want to use this image beside a paragraph. What I can do is I will just copy this image element, and inside my paragraph tags I can add this image element inside the paragraph element, right? So just inside the paragraph element I will add it. Now when I save it and I refresh it, the paragraph will still remain on the bottom and not on the side of the image. Now to solve this problem, what we can do is go to your image element, and in here with the style you just need to add one more attribute called float, and with float you can add float right or float left. Okay, so for example for float right, and save your code and refresh the page, and now your image is on the right and your paragraph is on the left. Okay, now if you do just opposite of this, for example float left, and save it and refresh your web page, now your image is on the left hand side and your paragraph is on the right hand side. Okay, so in this way you can use image element in HTML. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please rate, comment and subscribe, and